Hey, folks, for those of you saying that, hey, look, Todd looks sick, that's because, hey, folks, Todd's been sick. But I do want to pop on here today to talk to everyone who's on the streets today, everyone holding a sign, everyone who's giving us all a voice, and everyone who wanted to be on the streets today. This is a message from resistance history and from right now, resistance history as living history. Protest is not the whole story, it never has been, but is how the story starts. I'm spending most of my career these days, and it seems to the detriment of other parts of my career. That is what it is. Studying resistance, writing about it, and talking about it. Talking about it as history, talking about it as process, understanding the actual effective elements of it so we know what works, what doesn't work, what is performative, what is actionable, what we can learn from, and what we in fact need to ignore and avoid. And not as metaphor, not as posturing, but as lived action in the face of power that doesn't ask for permission and doesn't respond to politeness, FFS. One thing that I know is resistance never begins in strength. It begins when strength is failing and when people show up anyway. What we're seeing today in the streets, in the cracks between institutions, in the way people are refusing silence, is not the end of something. It's not a sign of weakness. It's the beginning of something. And I know that doesn't feel like enough. I know it doesn't. Because it isn't. Not yet. Because resistance isn't built on outcomes. It's built on endurance. It's built on persistence. It's built on sustainability. It doesn't grow because of laws or elections. It grows because people refuse to go back to sleep. And they refuse to let each other disappear. That's the core lesson from every movement I'm studying, from the Underground Railroad to ACT UP, from Standing Rock to the Black Loyalist communities in the Bahamas. The essence of resistance is community. And communities are built and strengthened on days like this. This work doesn't require certainty. It just requires each other. Now, I heard something yesterday from someone I deeply, deeply respect. Someone who I just had the enormous pleasure of working with earlier this week. And it has stuck with me. Hope is here. But for now, it lives in us. And we are still in the shadows. As we emerge and gain strength, hope will rise. It's pretty inspiring stuff. I'm a pretty inspiring person. And that's what history is teaching her. And it's exactly what history is teaching me too. But let's be clear about where we are. People are confused. I've been reading headlines every single day and social media posts about people who still think that their grants might get through, that their rights are merely under threat, that there's still some potential stopping point at the pen of some sort of magical federal judge, some sort of Albus Dumbledore in a black robe and a gavel. That person's not there. There isn't a stopping point. Power like this just expands and seeks more power. And entire agencies like the IMLS, right? They have been laid off. So I don't know who you think is processing your grant. A whole year's worth of funding of from the NEH for honest history projects, from films to exhibits to other kinds of programs, has been wiped out, canceled, done. You ain't getting it. Forget about it. And there's no one there even to process your complaint. For those of you who are not paying attention, it is now time to wake up. This is not theoretical. This is not a historical analogy you can keep at arm's length. For example, the books are already gone from the Naval Academy Library, all dealing with honest history. The courses are already erased from college curriculums about honest history. ICE is being welcomed back onto campuses, and we as faculty members are being told to open the doors for them. Screw that. Our institutions are collapsing around us. This is not a time for debate club niceties or newsletter optimism. This is the moment when resistance starts. Not later, now. Hope doesn't live in founding documents written by people who wouldn't give a damn about you. It doesn't live in procedures. It doesn't live in court opinions. It certainly doesn't live in the people telling you to sit tight and wait for the next election cycle. Let's go blue in 2026. Hope lives in us, in what we build together when we have had enough. So if you're protesting today, you are part of that emergence. If you're exhausted, you're a part of that emergence. If you're watching from home and supporting in any way, sharing resources, holding each other up, teaching the truth, posting, liking, sharing, you are part of that emergence. The regime wants you to believe that protest is a wave, something they can wait out, an opposing team they can just wipe off the scoreboard. But resistance is not a wave, it's a tide. And it rises when communities build strength behind it. And that's where we are right now. Still in the shadows, but emerging. So to everyone showing up today in whatever way you can, you are building the only thing that has ever pushed authoritarianism back. Not slogans, not speeches, but coherent, committed community. The people you are working with today, the people you are holding up signs with today, the people you are chanting with today and singing with today and crying with today and yelling with today, that is your community. Build it, lean into it. Because you are absolutely, positively not alone. And this is not the end. This is just the beginning. So thank you for everything that the people out there are doing out there. And for those of you who can't be, thank you for wanting to be and for doing what you can at home.